Today, the chairperson of the council is attending.
Recording in progress.
Is attending the House of Traditional Leaders at the invitation of the president. So she requested that I chair this session for this morning. So since the time now is exactly 8:30, the meeting has commenced. So what we'll deal with, as we know very well that we are starting a year afresh, so it means that we have to line our ducks so that we can be able to come up with a program which is going to be beneficial to the people of South Africa, to the provinces, to the municipalities, even to the national departments themselves. So officially this meeting is now opened. What I'll request on the side of the Secretariat about apologies, as I already made an apology for the chairperson, but she'll join, she'll log in, but without participating. So I'd like you on the side of the Secretariat to indicate are there any apologies that we have for this meeting. Knock, knock. Are there any apologies? Honorable, the Chief Whip of the Council.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and the Chairperson of the session. Indeed, let me take this opportunity to extend a word of greetings to yourself and Honorable Whips and House Chairs and the staff under the flagship of the Secretary. Chair, the apologies that we have from my side is a standing apology of Honorable Lumalo, who's not well, and also Honorable Monokume, who's not well, and we also have the apology of Honorable Sitole, who is attending SOPA. And then I think it's Honorable Badenhurst, who's also traveling, who's also flying after having attended the SOPA. I understand the Deputy Chair has also apologized from the report that I got. Thank you, Honorable House Chair.
Thank you, Honorable the Chief Whip of the Council. And then basically all these apologies you've tendered in here are valid. I think that I'll urge the programming committee to accept them. I saw the hand of Honorable Ryder.
Thank you, Chairperson. I was covered by the Chief Whip. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Ryder. So as it is now, I propose that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apologies be accepted. Is any person who's going to propose the adoption of these apologies?
Chairperson?
Yes, Honorable Mananiso.
Thank you, Honorable Mananiso. I herewith want to accept their apologies as read. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mananiso. Any seconder for that?
Seconded, Chair, Honorable Mukwili.
Oh, thank you, Honorable Mukwili. And as Honorable Mukwili has seconded these apologies, the chairperson indicated that Honorable Mukwili will be acting as a programming whip for this meeting. So it means that the issue of the report, which was supposed to have been provided by Honorable Mlokume, will be provided by Honorable Mukwili. And I think that we have to take this opportunity also to wish all the members who are sick to get well very soon, because we need them in the house, but they must take it easy because we need them strong so that we can run with this program. Also, at the same time, in this programming, because the first programming meeting which we're having, I got a report from the side of Honorable Mukwena, who indicated that Honorable Mhlongo is now the official whip of the MK party. So she's also warmly welcome into this meeting. I'd also like to welcome Honorable G. Korenhoff, the Councillor to the President of the Republic, as he's attending this programming meeting, because as we know, very important that what the executive does and what we're doing here must be in sync, so that we cannot compete with each other for the space. But what we must do what we're supposed to do. The executive must deliver the services. We must monitor what is happening. So without further ado, I request that the agenda be flighted so that it can be adopted formally. Can you blow it out so that the entire agenda? Yes, thank you. Now, officially, here is the agenda in front of us. The fourth, we're on the third item of the agenda, the consideration of the agenda. Here are the agenda items as they stand. The minutes. Number 5, matters arising. 6, consideration of the draft parliamentary program. Number 7, report on the select committee business, and the report on Parliament's legislative program plus the closure. Is there any addition you want to make in this agenda? Or if there's none, can someone propose the adoption of this agenda?
Honorable Chair.
Yes, Ausi?
Yes, there is none. One would want to adopt the agenda as tabled. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any seconder to Honorable Mananiso?
Yeah, good morning, Honorable House Chair, Honorable Dlamini. I second the adoption of the agenda as presented. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dlamini. And then the agenda stands adopted now. Can we consider the minutes as they are standing here? The first set of minutes which we are going to consider are the minutes of the 6th of November 2025. Can those minutes be flighted, please? Which I take them as read because they were sent well ahead before this meeting, but they must be all right. Here are the minutes of the 6th of November 2025, where the meeting started at 8:35. The people present here, as they are set out here. Can you go to the following page? Any other issue on this page? Any issue on this page? None. Next page. Yes, on this page, there it is. Any issue on this page, members? None. Can we pass that? Can you pass this page? Can you pass this page? Can you pass this page? Yes. Can you pass this page? Yes. Can you pass this page? Can you pass this page? Thank you. So it shows that this meeting ended at 9:37 and the person who was chairing was Honorable Govender. Can we go now to the next set of minutes? The minutes of the 13th of January. Yes, the people present, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Next page. Next page. Next page. Next page. Yes, the meeting was concluded at 9:31. And then can we go to the next set of minutes of the 15th of January? Next page. Next page. Next page. Thank you. This was one of
Honorable
the
Chairperson,
this was one of the shortest meetings we had. So now we have these 3 sets of minutes because there's nothing which was arising or
Chair.
all right. Let me just indicate the participant. Yes, Honorable Mananiso.
Thank you, Chair. I have raised my hand when you were on page 3 of the last set of minutes.
Or can you go to page 3?
Yes, page 3 is just a small lanyana thing that I think that it needs just to be omitted. You see
one?
on the second sentence, where we are referring to the strategic plan of the NCOP, can we just change that A to there, to there? That's
No.
just where the minor thing that I thought that it doesn't read proper
Where?
if there's A. On 1-2, there's a second sentence there after the 3rd to the 4th March.
Yes, has been changed to an strategy. Yes.
Yes, and then the other sentence just after that, just to
Yeah.
replace A with the, then everything is fine.
The Secretariat, are you getting what Honorable Mananiso is raising? The Secretariat? No. Is
Chair,
there anyone
please.
who's
Yes.
violently opposed to that? Or Honorable Mr. Advocate Pindela?
Yes, I'm not sure. Chair. Good morning, honorable members. I'm not sure if Honorable Mananiso is referring to the A before NCOP in the first sentence or the A before NCOP in the second sentence, starting with he inquired.
Yeah, both. Just to replace them with the.
Okay. We have noted that, Chair. Thank you very much.
So agreed. So we have these 3 sets of minutes. And then there was this one minor amendment on the 3rd set. Can someone propose that we adopt these 3 sets of minutes so that we can go to the matters arising out of these minutes? Can someone, let's take these 3 sets to go. Honorable Ryder?
Thank you, Chairperson. Yes, I propose all 3 sets be adopted with that minor amendment.
Thank you, Honorable Ryder. Any seconder to Honorable Ryder?
Chairperson?
Yes, Honorable Mananiso.
Yes, the reason why I didn't second is because on the first one I was not there, the one of November. So, but I want to second as per
The 2.
the 2.
Yeah.
I hereby, Honorable House Chair, formally move that we adopt, I second the move to adopt the minutes.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Whip. The Honorable Chief Whip is supporting everything as it is provided here. Thanks a lot for passing that. And then Secretary to the Council, any matters arising, plus the members, if there anything arising from the first set of minutes?
Thank you very much, House Chair.
Yes.
And once again, good morning, honorable members. We have distributed the implementation plan. Everything which was scheduled has been achieved. On the 13th of November, we had a plenary. On the 18th to the 21st of November, we had the provincial week. On the 25th of November, we had questions to the Deputy President. The 27th, we had a sitting to consider the reports as well as the fiscal framework. On the 2nd of December, we had questions to Cluster 5A Economics. On the 4th of December, we had the annual address by the Deputy President as well as the debate thereon. The 27th of November, we had consideration of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill as well as the farewell speeches. That was the last day of the last sitting of the year. And then on the 18th of December to the 13th of January, we had the leave period. On the 15th of January, we had a sitting to consider adjustment appropriation bill, special appropriation bill, as well as to consider the selection, the report of the select committee on appropriations on those reports, on those bills. And then on the 16th of January, we had the constituency period. On the 20th of January, we had the joint programming committee meeting. On the 6th of February, we had a sitting to consider the reports of the Select Committee on Security and Justice on the draft notices of relating to the judges' remunerations as well as the magistrates' remunerations. Then on the 10th to the 11th of February, we had the training for members. On the 12th of February, we had the State of the Nation address. On the 17th to the 18th, we had debates on the State of the Nation address. On the 19th, we had the reply by the President to the debate on the State of the Nation address. That takes us to the end of matters which were scheduled in the previous months. That is all, Chair. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Advocate, for that. Didn't you have a sitting on the 17th of December?
It is reflected, Chair, on the 17th to the 18th of December.
December, yes. Didn't you have a sitting? I'm asking everyone.
We had a sitting, Chair.
Yes. We did have a sitting. Yeah.
Okay, our apologies, Chair. We will include that.
Yes, yeah, because we did make some considerations for that. But I think that you must include that. And then basically, if you include that, the sitting was there, it was achieved. Remember that even during December, it was awkward that when everyone was on leave, we had to go on the visual meeting on the 17th of December. So I think that it must be recorded. Is there any issue you want to follow up, members, seeing that everything was achieved for that? If everyone is happy with that, let us agree that we have done well as the NSOP. In the previous months, we have done well. Let us accept that. And then now let's go to item number 6, which is the consideration of the draft parliamentary program. Can it be flighted, please? Programming whip, acting programming whip, can you take us through?
Thanks very much, Chairperson, and greetings to honorable members, the platform and the officials. As the acting chair, or as the House Chair, who's currently the chair of the meeting, has alluded that I'm going to stand in on behalf of Honorable Murokome, who's not currently not feeling well, as we'll always continue wishing her the speedy recovery. Chair, without much ado, will then go straight to starting with the state of the province address. If maybe they can flight it to where we have the state of the province address.
Yeah, there we are.
Yes, we are currently on the week of the 23rd to 27th. All the provinces they are now going through their state of the province address, whereby some there are some few that will go through the month of March. We've got Limpopo that will go on the 5th of March. We've got also Mpumalanga that will go on the 5th of March. I should think besides the two, if I'm not mistaken, all of them they went through, including those that are going through today, including the Western Cape is going through. It went through yesterday on the 25th. Northwest is today. The 26th is Northwest today. Yeah, I should think that we can then pass on the state of the province address. Let's go to the tomorrow, the 27th. We'll be having the plenary. The plenary that will be considering the raise and the monetary amount bill, which I believe this plenary is going to be fully visual, as is stated here. And then there will be some joint committee that are still going to sit. Same tomorrow, we've got the select committee on petition and executive undertakings, joint committee on defense and select committee on appropriation, and the select committee on finance. We can then go to the next slides. That shows that on the week of from the 2nd March, on Monday the 2nd is a constituency day. From the 3rd to the 4th is the NCOP strategic planning. We'll be having the strategic planning, and then on the 4th of March, the issue of the multi-party women caucus committee meeting, it will also proceed. And then again there will be also plenary at 2 o'clock on the 4th. And then let's proceed to the next page again. Friday, we all know that Friday is always the day that is assigned for the joint committees. On my list, we have only the joint committee on defense and the joint committee on finance. Both they will proceed on Friday at the 6th. Can you proceed to the next slide? We'll go on the issue of Mondays. As usual, is a constituency day. And then we'll go to on the 10th, Tuesday. There will be a committee of chairpersons meeting. And then at 2 o'clock, we'll have the plenary. And we all know that on the same Tuesday, there will be a committee that will be sitting. Got the committee on agriculture and the committee on economic development, education, cooperative governance and public administration. Next slides. Next slides. We are on the 11th. On the 11th is a provincial youth forum. It will proceed from 8:30 to 10, and 9:30 to 12 is a multi-party caucus hearing committee meeting, and then at 2 o'clock we'll be having plenary. Can we proceed to the next slides? On the 12th, it's a programming committee meeting from 8:30 to 10 to 12:30. Caucus of various political parties will be proceeding from 1 to 14 hours. The provincial delegation meeting will proceed. Also, at 2 o'clock, there will be a plenary whereby they will be considering question to cluster 26 social services and social development. And then on Friday, as usual, there will be joint committee. So don't skip. There will be a joint committees that will be proceeding. On my list now, I've got select committee on agriculture, land reform, select committee on defense. Next slide. On the 16th March, Monday, Constituency Day, 17 March, there will be plenary at 2 o'clock, whereby they will be considering question to cluster 2C, social services, water and sanitation, and human settlement. As usual, they will also be on the same day before plenary. There will also be committee that will be sitting. Committee that are applicable there. Can't go through them as you all have the program. Can we move to the next slides? The next slides on Wednesday, the 16th March, there will be plenary. I mean, we will start with committee early in the morning as usual that are applicable there for security, justice, social services, select committee on appropriation and land reform and agriculture. And then at I see on Wednesday, there is a plenary on the same day that is scheduled at 10 o'clock. The plenary, which I should think we need also to fix here, because if we are going to have committee that will sit at 10 at the same time, we'll have the plenary that will be hybrid. I should think we need also to fix there, or because I can see that our plenary will be at 10. Our committee will sit at around 3 o'clock, meaning that our committee will be in the afternoon.
Yes.
So I think it's in order. We can proceed. Next slide. In the next slide, on the 19th March, as usual, at 10 o'clock, there will be caucuses of various political parties. And then early in the morning, I mean, there is also the select committee of agriculture, land reform, mineral resources, that they will be attending the workshop here. And then at 14 hours, 2 o'clock, there will be plenary where we'll be considering question to cluster 2D social services, technology and innovation, sports, arts and culture. And then on Friday, there will be from 9:30, there will be member support and facility forum meeting. Friday, as usual, we all know that there are some joint committee that are sitting. We've got the joint committee on agriculture and land reform, joint committee on defense. But I see here they've indicated that they indicate they don't say joint committee, they say select committee. I don't know whether it's an error, or I see only joint committee on ethics and members' interests, joint committee on defense. but there are select committee on agriculture that they are going to sit on Friday. But here I can see the workshop. And then yes, yeah, on the state committee they will be only attending the workshop, but the committee will proceed. But there is another state committee here on cooperative governance and public administration, which they will be considering the final mandate on Public Service Commission bill. Next slides. Next slides. On the 23rd March, Constituency Day. On the 24th, we'll have committee chairpersons meeting starting at 8:30, 9:45. Same Tuesday, there will be committee that will be sitting. They are indicated that the Committee on Public Infrastructure and Minister, the CL Committee on Appropriations, the Committee on Agriculture and Land Reform and Mineral Resources. At 2 o'clock, we'll be having plenary. We have agreed that on Tuesday, today, there where we'll have motions, consideration of select Committee of Finance report and fiscal framework and revenue proposal, which is going to be most important sitting. And we'll also have the DA sponsored debate on good governance as the foundation of local government, the role of ethical leadership in resolving public trust. Let's go to the next slides. The next slide is on the 25th. 25th is a provincial week forum, starting at 8:30, 9:45. And then there will be a multi-party women caucus starting at 9:30 to 12. It's going to be the meeting. And then there will also be on the same day, on the 25th March, there will be a select committee that will be sitting, select committee on economic development, trades, select committee on social security and justice. And therefore at 2 o'clock afterwards, there will be a plenary where we'll be considering report. And there is also an EFF sponsored debate, the rural infrastructure duration and the debate on municipal funds, the debate on municipal, the debate on municipal
fund withholding.
And the next slides. The next slides will be the 26. We'll be having the programming meeting as usual. 10 o'clock will be caucuses. 3 to 14 hours provincial delegation meeting. 2 o'clock plenary where we'll be considering reports and legislation, and also will be having an ANC sponsored debate that says taking decisive action to fix local government and improve the delivery of basic services. Next slides. On Friday, there will be joint committee that are going to sit on Friday the 27th March. They are reflecting there. Next slides.
We're done.
We are done.
We are done, yes.
No. Thanks very much, Chair, for affording me the opportunity. I hereby present the program before the programming meeting. I thank you.
Oh. No. Honorable Mukwili, thanks for the job well done. Ne? Members of the programming committee, here the program has been presented to us. I see the hand of Honorable Mhlongo, and they must protect her. It is her maiden participation in the program committee. Over to Honorable Mhlongo. Honorable Mhlongo?
Thank you, Chair. And thank you for telling them to protect me. Thank you, Mr. Mokwele, for your presentation. I just have one question with regards to the strategic planning. Is there a program and that outlines the form and content of the NCOP?
Thank you. Honorable Nkosi? Nkosi.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members. My apology for not showing myself up. I'm at the Eastern Cape Legislature. I was raising my hand just to thank Honorable Mukweli and also support the best wishes for our program. Program WHIP, speedy recovery, and to really second or move for the adoption of the program by the acting programming WHIP. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nkosi Nkulu. And then there's an issue which was raised by Honorable Mhlongo. Can the Secretary to the Council respond?
Thank you very much, Chair. The program will be finalized, I hope between today and tomorrow. We should be able to distribute a draft by tomorrow, Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then, although the Ingos has put the cart before the horse, it says already proposed that the program be adopted. And then, is there any seconder for Inkosi? Honorable Dlamini?
I second Nkosi, Honorable House Chair. Thank you.
No, thank you, Honorable Dlamini. So the program is duly adopted, and then we can move next one. But what I'd really like to appeal is on the side of the whips of the committees, that basically the Fridays are usually set aside for the joint standing committees. We know very well that our memberships of committees are running thin, because we share so many committees at the same time. To find that the members of this select committee might belong to a particular joint standing committee, but I think that the offices of the chief whip plus the chairperson of committees will be able to resolve that. And then now can we go to the next item, which is the consideration of the report on select committee business. I think it's led by Honorable Ryder. Can you take us through, Honorable Ryder?
Good afternoon. No, good morning. It's been a long day already. Thursday was a very long week this time around. Thank you very much. Morning, Chair, and good morning to all honourable members. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, Chairperson, just if I can, before I start my presentation, abuse the platform to reiterate that we do try to prioritise joint committees on a Friday. Unfortunately, where there is urgent legislation that needs to be processed, sometimes we are forced to convene select committees on a Friday just to do catch up. Unfortunately, also there was a request for an oversight week for committees during this term. It was denied, and which has necessitated some of the oversights to clash with some of the Friday meetings. We're trying to manage that as best as possible. And as always, it is convention. Members sometimes have conflicting responsibilities. We try and limit that as far as possible. And of course, members do need to prioritize. But if I can take us through the presentation, if the presentation can be flashed on the screen, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much, Mr. Michaels. The work that is currently before the NCOP select committees includes some budget instruments, some legislation, interventions, petitions, and then certain other matters. So if I can just take a look at the next slide, which indicates that there are 3 Section 75 bills, 2 Section 77, and 1 Section 76 bill currently under consideration. Other matters, there are 3 interventions, 3 petitions, There's letters and regulations that have been referred to committees. There's progress reports on the suspension of magistrates, and then just an item for noting, which is the review of the ethics codes. Let's start immediately with the Select Committee on Finance, which has the rates and monetary amounts bill. It was referred to us on the 4th of December. The committee has adopted the report on this past Monday morning. Again, it's a bill. It was needed to be dealt with urgently, so a meeting was convened on a Monday morning. It's something we also like not to do, but the time frames did necessitate this, and that, of course, is what has led to the necessity for a plenary sitting on Friday morning. And I do ask all members to avail themselves. I'm going to step into the Chief Whip's lane and say, please, if members can avail themselves for the sitting on Friday morning, it shouldn't be too long, and we can then pass the rates and monetary amounts bill. Together as well with the next bill, which is the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, also due to be considered on Friday morning, 27th of February, and the Tax Administration Laws Amendment Bill as well. So those three bills are all up for decision on Friday morning. The reason, of course, being that these items need to be gazetted before the 28th of February so that the appropriate taxes and amounts can be updated in a gazette and be charged with effect from the 1st of March. Good. Let's move on then to the Division of Revenue Bill, which is before the Select Committee on Appropriations. I think many of you may have noticed there was a budget yesterday. The DORA Division of Revenue will only be referred to us once the National Assembly has finished their processing of the bill. But in terms of the way that these annual bills are processed, we do get joint briefings. And this, of course, is what creates some of the clashes on Fridays when we do have joint briefings for the Appropriations Committee, the Finance Committee in both houses. So the four committees sit jointly on a few Fridays, and you will see with our first such sitting is tomorrow, and we will begin processing the bill, even though it'll only be referred to us during the second term. Let's move on then to the Appropriation Bill. It works in a very similar fashion. Again, announced at the budget yesterday, still to be processed by the National Assembly, but we do have joint meetings with the National Assembly to get the briefings and to get ourselves ahead of the curve so that by the time the bill is referred to us, we can process it quite quickly. That'll again be finished in the second term in line with the legislation that covers it. Chairperson, let's move on to the Select Committee on Cooperative Governance and Public Administration. This committee has been inundated with work and bills specifically. They've processed a number of these. This one that is on the screen at the moment is the Public Service Commission Bill. It was referred to us on the 18th of March, 2025. And the committee has been processing it ever since. Obviously, the negotiating mandates, it's a Section 76 bill. So the negotiating mandates will be due to be received from the provinces on the 10th of March. That will then give rise to the Department and Parliamentary Legal Services responses to those negotiating mandates being presented on Friday, the 13th of March. So there's another one of the clashes. But important that we do this so that the committee can finish their work and get their final mandates by the 20th of March. So that gives the provinces a week to have their meetings to produce final mandates. And it's important that we do that so that the committee can finalize the report on the 20th of March. The reason, of course, being, if we look at the next slide, the time to process this bill expires on the 12th of April. Considering that we will be on constituency period at the time, this bill therefore needs to serve in the chamber before the, I think it's the 27th of March, when we rise as a house. So that's why completing that bill and getting those final mandates and report by the 20th is important. and necessary to be done in quite a confined space, necessitating that Friday meeting. Let's move on to the next item, which is it's another bill in front of the Select Committee on COGPA. This is the South African National Water Resources Infrastructure Agency State-Owned Company Limited Amendment Bill. It's a Section 75 bill, so a little bit easier for us to process. It was referred to on the 19th of September. The briefing has been received. The committee intends finalizing the bill on the 10th of March, and it will then be able to be programmed in to the plenary of the House so that we can get this bill passed. Again, it needs to be passed still before the end of this term. So if you look at the next slide, also our time to process this bill expires on the 24th of April. Only 2027. So we're a year ahead of the curve on this one. But is that correct? I'm not sure that's 2026 or 2027. 2026. It is 2026. That is a typing error on the slide. So we do need to process this bill quite urgently, as indicated. Yeah. Let's move on to the Select Committee on Security and Justice, also dealing with a Section 75 bill. This is the One-Stop Border Post Bill, referred to the committee on the 4th of November, 2025. They've received the briefing from the department. There'll now be further briefings and then public hearings that'll take place in the second term. The committee intends dealing with this bill to conclusion still during the second term. If you look at the next slide, we do have until September 2026 to process this bill in terms of the joint rules. Good. Let's look then at the next items. The first one being again another matter before the COGPA committee. It's a written notice in terms of Section 139. This one's on Theovatus Kloof. It was referred to us in November 2024. This is an intervention in terms of Section 1395. So the 180-day time frame doesn't apply to this particular Section 139 notice. But the committee has received briefings from the Western Cape, and they do intend, they had hoped to go again on oversight during the first term. Those dates were not available, and so therefore an oversight is planned for the second term of 2026, and we look forward to receiving a report on that. If we can then consider the next slide, it's a similar instance of a Section 139 intervention into Masilonyana, local municipality in the Free State, only referred to us quite recently, 29th of January 2026, and an oversight visit is planned again in the second term. The intention is to combine those two oversights to make best use of time and travel arrangements. The next Section 139, it's another slide again, a matter before the COGPA committee. Section 139.5 intervention into Nketwana, local municipality in the Free State, referred to us very recently on the 4th of February. And again, oversight visit planned in the second term. And in a similar vein, it will be programmed for hopefully in the same week. Let's move on then to the petitions. The first one we'll be dealing with is, so these are the matters before the Public Petitions and Executive Undertaking Select Committee. It's that petition from Mr. Nobo from SAMWU. We have spoken about this in the past. There is a progress report expected on the 17th of March 2026 in terms of bringing this matter to finalization, and the committee intends bringing this or submitting a report for consideration by the plenary during the second term of 2026. The urgency of completing this has been made very clear to the chairperson and the administrative staff, but of course still the petition requires proper consideration, sufficient time, and the complexity of the matter, together with the limited availability of Mr. Ngobo, has dragged this one out a little bit longer than we had hoped. But yes, seriously expecting this to be completed in the second term of 2026. The next petition is the petition requesting for assistance in Magog village in Umzumbe. This petition was dealt with, and there was a plenary sitting where we adopted the report on this, but the committee has decided that they would like to return for a second oversight visit in order to just evaluate the progress that has been made based on the recommendations of the committee. There was certain responsibilities that were given to the province to fulfill and so on. So a second oversight is planned on the 27th of March, and that will then allow the committee to provide us with a final report, and I expect it'll be a closeout report that will come to us in the second term of 2026. The next petition is the South African Express Airways petition, referred to the committee on the 21st of September. The petitioners were invited to brief the committee. That was done in November. There were further briefings and engagements on the 24th of February, and the committee is expecting to conclude this with a report that is due to serve before the committee in the second term of 2026. Let's move on to the Select Committee on Agriculture, Land Reform and Mineral Resources. There are two sets of regulations that they have been dealing with. It's threatened or protected species regulations and a draft notice prohibiting certain activities involving African lions. The committee has completed their work on the 17th of February, and we now look forward to the allocation of a date when the report can serve before the plenary. So you will note that report has been ATC'd, and you will now find it below the line on the order paper. The next matter is before the Select Committee on Security and Justice. It's a letter dated 18th of September, received from the Minister of Home Affairs, just tabling reports of the Electoral Reform Consultation Panel. The current status is that there will be a joint meeting with the Portfolio Committee of the National Assembly on Home Affairs, and at that meeting the Minister will brief both committees on the panel and its reports on the electoral system operations for national and provincial elections in South Africa. The scope of work will become clear only after that briefing, and so an expected finish date on this, it's too early in the process to indicate when they aim to finish that. That will become clear after that briefing by the Minister. Let's move on then to again Select Committee on Security and Justice. A number of magistrates. There are 6 items there. It's just progress reports on processes. It's suspensions of various magistrates, provisional suspensions that require further actioning. The committee, these matters were referred on the 10th of November. There's been a briefing by the Magistrates Commission. There has been reports adopted yesterday by the committee, and so we look forward. I haven't checked today's ATC yet. I will check it, and I'm sure that those reports will have found their way onto today's ATC. If not, it'll be on for tomorrow, and that will then enable the matter to go below the line so that we can prepare a date for consideration by the House. Let's look at the second last item. It's the Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. This is really just an item for noting. The Code of Ethical Conduct and Disclosure of Members' Interests is due to be reviewed, and a public notice has been issued for submissions, and the deadline is the 31st of March 2026. Obviously, dependent on the volume and complexity of those submissions, that will inform when the matter will be expected to be completed. But just to alert members to the fact that this is out there, it is something that affects all of us, and it is probably useful for us to engage with the process at an early stage and put our recommendations through to the Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. The final slide in the presentation, Chairperson, is again Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests. It's a review of the Ethics Code, Executive Ethics Code in this instance, in terms of the relevant act. The public notice again has been issued for submissions, and similarly there's a deadline of 31st of March 2026. Yes, based on those submissions, that will inform the expected finishing date. There was just a request from the Joint Committee on Ethics and Members' Interests chairperson or co-chairperson that I do just sensitize the chairpersons, the members on this committee, that there is currently open submissions for members' declarations, and if members are able to make their way to the usual site, then your declarations will be facilitated there. Thank you very much, House Chairperson. I submit the report for consideration and discussion. Thank you.
No, thank you, Honorable Ryder, for the elaborate report which you've just presented. And now this report is for consumption by the members of the Program Committee. Any proposal that we adopt the report, or are there any issues arising from the report which can be tackled now? Can I see the hands? Honorable Malaniso?
Thank you, Chairperson. Let me start by appreciating the work done by Honorable Ryder on including the innovation of a roadmap in the graphic, actually, where he shows on the process of other legislations in place. I want to move for the adoption of the program as it is. And I want to say that it's a true reflection of what has been happening in terms of our committees. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Malaniso. Any seconder for Honorable Malaniso? I see Honorable Mukwili.
No, thanks very much, House Chair. I rise to second Honorable Malaniso that we move the report as presented by Honorable Malaniso. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mukwili. So the report on Select Committee business has been adopted. Now we go to the next report on the legislative program of Parliament. Can Dr. do something about that report? Can it be flighted?
Thank you, Chairperson, honorable members and colleagues. Good morning. Our presentation this morning is twofold. The first part comprises a report on legislation before Parliament, and then the second part focuses on Constitutional Court judgments. The Bills Office, we concur with Honorable Ryder on his presentation on the status of bills currently before Parliament. Currently, there are 32 bills before portfolio committees, 18 executive bills, 14 private members' bills, and 3 bills before select committees. My presentation will start from slide number 3, executive bills before portfolio committees. On the 21st of January 2026, National Water Amendment Bill B1 of 2026, a section 76, was introduced. This bill is currently before Portfolio Committee on Water, and then an ATC to that effect was also published on the 21st of January. On the same slide, we have SA National Petroleum Company Bill B2 of 2026, a proposed section 75. This bill was introduced on the 11th of February 2026. This bill is currently before Portfolio Committee on Mineral and Petroleum Resources, and then an ATC to that effect was also published on the 11th of February 2026. As part of budget speech yesterday, the Minister of Finance introduced a special appropriation 2025-2026 Bill 3 of 2026. The committee reports also indicated that this bill is currently before Standing Committee on Appropriations, and then an ATC to that effect was also published on yesterday's ATC. Can we also proceed to slide number 4, Private Members Bill before Portfolio Committees? Constitution 23rd Amendment Bill, B 34 of 2025, a section 74, was introduced on the 12th of December 2025. An ATC to that effect was also published on the 12th of October 2025. This bill is currently before Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development. Kindly note that this is a private member's bill by Honorable Trollip. Can we proceed to slide number 5, bills to be referred to committees? On the 25th of February 2026, Minister introduced a appropriation bill, a proposed section 77 and division of revenue bill, Bill 5 of 2026, a proposed section 76. These two bills will only be referred to the Finance and Appropriations committees once the fiscal framework has been adopted by both houses, the NA and the NCOP. These are among the bills that were introduced by the minister yesterday, but only one bill was referred to the Appropriations Committee. Can we please proceed to slide number 6, bills on NA order paper? In terms of NA Rule 351, the National Gambling Amendment Bill, Performing Animal Protection Amendment Bill, and Electoral Laws Amendment Bill, they elapsed at the end of the last sitting day of the 2025th annual session. And on the 24th of February 2026, these three bills were revived from the stage they had reached on the last sitting day of the 2025th annual sessions. These bills are currently on NA order paper for consideration by the House. Also note that the Independent Municipal Demarcation Authority Bill, B14D of 2022, a section 77, is also currently on NA order paper. The Portfolio Committee reported on this bill yesterday. However, it is not reflected on my slide because on my report, as the committee report was tabled after the Bill's office had already submitted our report for this meeting. We are currently preparing the act forms on this bill, and the second language for this bill will be isiZulu. Can we proceed to slide number 7? These are the list of bills that have been recently classified. They were classified on the 5th of February 2026. And then can we proceed to slide number 8, bills sent to the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership. On the 13th of February 2026, Constitution 22nd Amendment Bill and Water Services Amendment Bill were referred to the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership in accordance with the Joint Rule 205, subsection 2. And then an ATC to that effect was also published on the 13th of February 2026. Can we proceed to slide number 10, bills on NCOP order paper? On the 23rd of February 2026, the Select Committee reported on Rates and Monetary Amounts Bill, B14 of 2025, a section 77, Tax Administration Laws Amendment Bill, B29 of 2025, it's a section 75, and Taxation Laws Amendment Bill, B30 of 2025, it's also a section 77. These bills are currently on NCOP order paper for consideration by the House. As the Bill's office, we are preparing the act forms to be submitted to the President for assent if these bills are passed by the House. The second language for these three bills is Afrikaans. Then we proceed to slide number 11, draft bills before Parliament. On the 29th of January 2026, we received gas bill. Note that this is an executive bill. Then on the 17th of February 2026, we received public procurement amendment bill. This bill is a private member's bill by Honorable M. Cuthbert. And then on the 23rd of February, we also received traditional and Khoisan leadership bill. This bill is also an executive bill. As the Bills Office, we are preparing and processing this draft bill for introduction in Parliament. That concludes the report from the Bills Office. With your permission, Chairperson, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Ms. Daksha, who will take us through Constitutional Court judgment. Thank you, Chairperson.
All right, over to Ma'am Daksha.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, Chairperson, honorable members and colleagues.
Can you flag the report, please?
Mr. Michaels, I see he is busy doing that. I see it's visible on the screen, so I'll proceed. Good morning once again. Chairperson, my presentation will focus on new Constitutional Court judgments, as well as provide a progress update in relation to the Constitutional Court judgments where the court order is still suspended, and if the defect is not corrected by the deadline, there will be a gap in the law. However, we have also circulated a report on the other judgments where there are deadlines, but there won't be a gap in the law, and the progress on those matters are reflected in blue font in that report. So on slide 1, Chairperson, this is a new Constitutional Court judgment that was delivered in relation to the Extradition Act. It deals with Section 10 of the Extradition Act, and the Constitutional Court had declared this section invalid, but suspended the order in order for the defect in the Act to be corrected. The date by which the defect must be corrected is 22 December 2027. However, the court has also provided an interim read-in that will apply during this period of suspension. Our officers have submitted a legal opinion on this judgment to the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee. And on the 28th of January, we also inquired from the Department of Justice as to what their plans are in order to address this judgment, and we await their response. Next slide, please. This slide, Chair, the first matter deals with the Basic Conditions of Employment Act and the Unemployment Insurance Act. This order lapses on the 2nd of October 2028. On the 28th of January, our officers inquired from the department as to what their plans are to address this judgment. And the department responded to say that draft legislation has already been developed by the department, and they will be publishing this draft bill for comment during March. The next matter is deals with the Military Discipline Supplementary Measures Act. In respect of this, this bill was introduced in November last year, and the Portfolio Committee on Defence and Military Veterans has scheduled meetings in this quarter to deliberate on the amendment bills that have been introduced. Next slide, please. With respect to the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act, the latest progress on that has been that the Department of COGTA confirmed that Cabinet had approved the submission of the bill to Parliament on 12th November. On the 29th November, the Minister had complied with Joint Rule 201 and submitted the draft bill to the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor for certification. We have been informed that the bill has now been certified, and we can expect introduction of this bill to happen soon. In respect of the Marriage Act and the Divorce Act, the suspension order lapses on the 27th of June 2026. Our officers have received permission to apply to the Constitutional Court for a further extension of the suspended order, and in this regard, the State Attorney has been briefed, and counsel will be appointed and briefed soon in order to bring the Constitutional Court application for extension. That concludes my presentation, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the elaborate presentation. Honorable members, any issue on the report? I'm going to Honorable Mukwele.
No, thanks very much. House Chair and Chair of the session. Chair, maybe let me first welcome the presentation of the bills and the progress thereof. But Chair, I want to bring back this forum where we're starting as the seventh administration about the issue of the bills, which I want also I'm having an interest just to check that based on the report that they presented before us, in terms of the time frame, are we still in order? Because remember, honorable members, as the seventh administration team, when we come in, we have inherited majority of bills that were supposed to be finalized by the previous administration, but most of them happened because of the issue of deadline are not met. Because for us to do well, we must not be surprised at the end when there are some certain bills that cannot be concluded because there were some certain processes that where the deadline were not met. I just want to check that whether in terms of the time frame of, let's say the bill is before the committee, the bill needs to go to the province to be considered there, in terms of timeline, are we sticking to our timeline, or we find that if something's supposed to happen this week, something can just get postponed to indefinite? Because the reason why we are unable to finish because of we are not monitoring ourselves as the team. So I just want to check only in terms of the time frame that whether we are in order. But other than that, I'm fine with the presentation if we stick to our timeline. Thank you, Chairperson.
No, thank you, Honorable Mukwele. I think Honorable Rada will have a better response to that as the House Chairperson committees.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yeah, that's why I raised my hand, is just to give a response. Look, I think we can only comment about bills that have been referred to us already. We can't comment about bills that are still sitting with the National Assembly. So I think it's quite clear in the presentation of matters before committees. We have laid out the timeframes there, and to indicate where we have got surplus time, where we don't. I think the COGPA committee has been under tremendous pressure to process a lot of bills in a very short space of time. And that has led to quite almost a concertina effect for that particular committee. But we have yet to find an instance where a bill has fallen out of time without us doing the correct thing and applying for an extension. There were extensions applied for with some of the bills that we processed at the end of last year. Those are bills that were left over from the previous Parliament. Extensions were applied for, they were granted, and those bills have now been processed to finality. The only bills that are before us now, you will remember from the graphic that was part of the report I gave, everyone is still in the green. We are coming close to the end of some of those green periods and they're about to turn red. But the work plan is to ensure that we meet all of those in time. And that is why sometimes, again, it necessitates the odd meeting outside of normal hours. But yeah, so we're still covered, Honorable Mukwele. It is something that we do keep a very close eye on to ensure that we are not caught by surprise. And it is something that we do consider. As soon as a bill is referred to a committee, then my office will sit together with the committee chairperson and the committee secretariat and develop a work plan and timelines for processing of the bill so that all of the necessary processes can be completed within a specific time frame. Where we see that's not going to happen, we proactively, and we haven't had an instance of this yet, But where we see it's going to happen, then we can actively discuss an extension with the Joint Rules Committee. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ryder. Members, we know very well that around 10, it is the constituency time for the various political parties. Honorable Mkule has proposed that the report be adopted. Is there any seconder for Honorable Mkule? Second, so I agree with the proposal. Honorable Manani, so I see that your mic is open.
Yes, I wanted to second the report. Thank you.
No, thank you, Honorable Manani. So the report is taken as it is, and then also the comments of Honorable Ryder. I think that we are on the safe space. I think that's why we have these programming committee meetings now and again, so that we're able to track where we are as the council. Without further ado, honorable members, I think that we just want one last reminder that tomorrow morning at 8, there's a visual sitting of the NCOP. We'd really like to appeal that each and every member of the NCOP, also the delegates from the provinces, they can also attend, because we'll be adopting the 3 bills so that they pass on time, so that the SARS can be able to collect what is supposed to be collected, so that we can bring transformation in the country. And number 2, the issue of the declaration of the members' interests. Honorable members, it is always not good that the Joint Standing Committee of Ethics find negative adversely against members. It is very bad that we have to adopt a report which is dealing with the members. So we have to appeal that please go and start declaring as early as possible, so that we are not found in want at a crucial time. Without further ado, honorable members, I declare that this meeting is now adjourned. Kalebucha.
Long live the chair. Masibonge. Ane.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Chair.
Recording stopped.